one waiting to go in, right? You are? Me? No. I'm here because the detective is my cousin. She's supposed to look after me, but she's really busy, see? So I'm just sat here. She's almost ready to see you. Just one sec. No. It's okay. I won't be here for too long. I'm waiting for my big brother to finish baseball practice. I'm not allowed to walk home all by myself, so I have to wait. It's scary outside, you know. But my big brother will protect me, so it's okay. You look nervous. Don't be scared. If you're nice, my cousin won't get mad. Just talk to her, okay? Tell her the truth because, well, she can get a little scary. I don't like it when she shouts. And lately she shouts a lot because her brother went missing last month, so just be good, okay? Good. Oh, she's ready now. Look, I can tell because that door just opened. You can go in now. Good luck.
Good afternoon. Take a seat. Hello, I am Detective. Actually, I don't think that's necessary. I know your name, but, I mean, do you really need to know mine? You see, the way I do things is a little different to what you might be expecting. This room is not being watched or recorded. When you close that door behind you, it won't open again without a key. I have that key. This is just the two of us here. Nobody else has to know certain details of what's said and done here. This is entirely intimate. Just the two of us. But, don't fret. I do not intend on hurting you. This is just procedure. Well, it's not. It's not whatsoever, but this is just my procedure. This is how I do things. So, we're here to talk. Now that's out of the way, let's get right to it, no? Right. Obviously, you know why you're here, right? I'm not in the mood to be briefing an idiot. Alright, I'm keeping this quick. The murder that occurred 3 days ago, in the mansion where you work. Mr. Matsudo, multimillionaire and your employer, drugged in his own bedroom whilst working before dying of heart failure. You were on shift at the time. According to your schedule at the time of the murder, which I believe was roughly 11:40 p.m., you would have been 2 rooms away. I believe you were the closest person to Mr. Matsudo when he was killed. Do you understand now why you're here? Well, it only makes sense. It's not quite that you're a suspect. Well, actually, everyone who was in that mansion at the time is a potential suspect. And with you being so close, well, to be honest, my inferiors would probably assume you a likely killer. But I don't think you did it. At least, so you're lucky you have me. I have an eye for these things. If you were a killer, I'd see it in your eyes. I'd know already. You cannot lie to me. But what I need to know is what you know. You must have some idea of what happened, no? You must have heard something. If someone entered that mansion, they may have even walked right past you. I understand that you're out of work now. This must be a very stressful situation mentally and financially. But still, justice must be served where it is due. We must capture the killer. I will interrogate every person who was in that goddamn mansion until I get what I want. If that's what needs to happen. Hmm? That's a good point. Yes, Mr. Matsudo did indeed die of heart failure. But don't be stupid. Sedated water was beside him and in his system. It wasn't an overdose. I considered the possibility that he was allergic to the pill too, but the autopsy showed no signs of that whatsoever. He'd taken that same drug dozens of times to relax after a long day, according to the maid I spoke to just this morning. Tiny little thing, really weird, some sort of genetic mutation right on her head. I've seen a couple of them before. Pretty curious, but she was too busy sobbing erratically to elaborate on. Well, anything. Somebody murdered Mr. Matsudo, and somebody murdered him well. No prints anywhere. No signs of anyone other than him entering that room at all. It hardly surprises me that you didn't see anything either, but it's hard backing up a theory that nobody else is willing to believe if you have so little to support said theory, no matter how undoubtedly correct it is. Alright, moving on. You know about Mr. Matsudo's line of work, don't you? You must. You worked for him for 6 years. Apparently you've been playing dumb, but I find it difficult to believe that you can work for a highly notorious and renowned man for that long, without having any further details of his work that aren't readily available to the rest of us. You must have something of interest to offer me that can help me discover who murdered your boss. You must have something that will make this worthwhile to me, don't you? I imagine you must know something. In fact, I imagine you know lots of things. Enlighten me, won't you? Don't forget, in this room, it's just me and you. There's nobody else here. Nobody else can see this. Nobody else ever will. I may work for this department, but lately especially, I'm kind of doing my own thing. I'll serve my own justice. Nobody else has to know anything. It doesn't matter to me. Well? Nothing? Well, that's about what I expected. I guess if you don't know anything... Well, you know Mr. Matsudo was a very powerful member of an anarchist cult, don't you? You do, don't you? Surely you know at least that much. And Mr. Matsudo, he was under a lot of pressure lately. He had a lot of important documents in his possession, a lot of tasks given to him by the higher-ups. Given the current condition of this town, I'm guessing that in the office where he spends so much of his time, there should have been a lot of interesting things to look at. Or, well, I would have thought. But I found nothing. Maybe whoever killed him so stealthily and took those documents. Maybe they were never there in the first place. Maybe that highly protected mansion just wasn't safe enough for their contents. Maybe that's just how important they were. Who knows? Not me. Or maybe you, a highly trusted worker, discovered his corpse before anyone else and before his death was reported. Maybe you took all of the documents of importance from where you knew they were kept in that room, and maybe you burned them in the fireplace in the kitchen right on the other side of the mansion, when everyone else was too preoccupied with the chaos following the fact the owner of the house's corpse had just been found. Everything was already long charred away by the time I got there. Only ashes remain. But this is a tiny corner of a piece of paper that I unearthed from the fireplace in the kitchen. Can you guess whose fingerprints were found right beside the fireplace? I wonder who. And it's odd, because you'd have no reason to be in the kitchen, especially at the same time that your boss's dead body had just been found. What did I tell you before? You can't lie to me. I'm not a person that you can deceive. You may not be a killer, but the guilt is in your eyes. You knew that these documents were very, very important, so you disposed of them before the police had a chance to arrive at the scene. I imagine they had a lot to do with your boss's work. I imagine there was a lot of elusive information in there. So, come on, tell me. Give me something. Help me out here. I'm only trying to find out who your boss was killed by. Wouldn't that be nice for you to know? Unless you already know, huh? I think you should start talking now. If not, it's going to be a long, long day.